following parody is not a mockery of God's throne, but an accurate portrayal of the twisted mindset of Anthony and Michael. And so, Anthony arrived at the great white throne of judgment. Do you know, Anthony, where you are?
I have got the discernment. I know that I am at the great white throne of judgment. And God, now that I'm here, I may confess this as well.
What is it?
I just got from hell. I thought you made hell more like the tropics, and so I was disappointed.
Why?
Too hot. So I fell down, and so I started once again in sin.
Why did you sin against me on earth?
You see, God, it was because I was discouraged. Because when you exposed my sin to Sylvester, and he told Amightywind leadership that I had sinned, I was disappointed. So I once again fell into sin.
Is this your excuse? What about your drug use?
Come on, think in your brain. Yes, I used every kind of drugs. Every kind of drugs. But I would never use heroin. So I fell down because they said I used heroin. So I once again fell into sin.
You are not answering my question. Why, Anthony, did you sin against me?
Just listen to the explanation of Sightless Faith Walker. Let Sightless Faith Walker come here. He testifies with me.
No, Anthony. You are supposed to be on your own here at the great white throne of judgment.
Well, it wasn't my fault. You see, it was all the demons' fault. And you refused to kick out my demons. So, actually, it is your fault, God.
My fault, huh? So based on that thought, what did you do?
I was comfortable in my sin. Because it wasn't my fault, it was all your fault, God, and it was Amightywind Ministry's fault. So how do you explain that, Amightywind?
So you do acknowledge that Amightywind belongs to me. So now, tell me, Anthony, why did you renounce me?
Because I was disappointed. I had a bad day. So I renounced your hand and your love in my life. Big deal. The Bible says you need to forgive me, God, 7 times 70. So you break the Holy Scriptures. You have no discernment. You should have forgiven me. Because all of us have bad days. All of us have sinned and have sometimes very stressful days. So I fell down. And because Amightywind didn't tell me that I was forgiven, I once again fell into sin.
Where is it in my word, Anthony, that I should forgive you for renouncing me?
Please listen to my friend, Sightless Faith Walker. Please let him come over. He testifies with me against your Amightywind Ministry.
Anthony, I have enough of your foolishness. What is it that is so important that Sightless Faith Walker has got to say?
This is no secret. You see, I'm telling the truth here, and those that tell the truth should get into heaven, right? Now, if I may interrupt for 1 second, God, on behalf of my beloved brother Anthony. You see, my brother was in a very difficult situation because he had a bad day. And you see, we all have bad days, God. You know that. Your word says we ought to be forgiven 7 times 70 a day. And I'm gonna hold you to your word, God, for the sake of my beloved brother Anthony. Because I guarantee you, Anthony never stole. It were all false accusations of Sylvester. You see, even though Anthony used my money that belonged to you to buy occult video games and to commit sin, he never stole. And also, even though his money was always spent and I didn't know on what, I guarantee you he never spent it on drugs. This boy is not on drugs, I guarantee you. His skin looks way too good to be on drugs. So that is why I ask you, God, to please forgive this brother and to let him into heaven.
Surely this must be why you call yourself sightless, because you are the blind leading the blind. I tell you what, from now on, at my command, all of heaven refers to you officially as Dumb and Dumber. And more importantly, you are under my judgment, and I say unto you both, Anthony and sightless faith walker, depart from me, ye workers of iniquity, for I never knew you, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels.